Hello, what's going on everyone? It's your boy Ethan, hope you're having a great day. Today I'm rocking my pink SXM hat, my lucky St. Martin hat that I wore and that I got in the lovely island, and this is going to be a fun video. Play a tournament, play a bounty tournament. It's a $420 buy-in. First place gets a WSOP ring, and every player that I knock out here is going to add $100 to my wallet if I knock someone out. So it's going to be a very fun tournament. Hope you guys enjoy, because it was a lot of fun. That's all I can say. Let's get into the hands. This is a fun one. All right, this $420 bounty tournament. Let's get started into level 4. I have 18,000 in chips, and starting off this tournament, I pick up Jack 10 offsuit in +2. Here in early position, the undergun player decides to limp. I raise to 1,000 chips here and get the small blind and limper to call. Multi-way to a flop of King Queen 5 2 diamonds. Action checks to me, and on these king-queen high boards, certainly can bet and probably should bet, but I have a good draw here, and I don't want to get check raised off of my hand, so I decide to just hit my card, get paid. Pretty easy plan, hopefully. I check back and see a free turn, which comes the 4 of hearts. The small blind decides to bet 2,000. The undergun player calls, and here in this situation, like I said on the flop, let's call, hit our card, and get paid, please. Can either rep a diamond or straight with my current holdings, I think. So I make the call, and there's about 9,600 in the middle. The river is the 3 of diamonds. So the flush draw does get there, and not really surprised when this card gets here. Action checks to me. Seeing as though that I think these players are capped to not having a flush, and typically in live poker, people just are really afraid of the flush getting there. I decide to tell my story, rep that I have a strong hand, and blast out 7,500 into the middle. It's a pretty big bet considering the size of the pot. The small blind player takes her sweet ass time, thinks it over, makes us sweat it out, begrudgingly folds. Then the undergun player also seems like they have a really big decision, thinks about it for a while, goes into the tank, and then folds himself. Whew, we get this one through. Get both people to tank fold. Jack 10 high is going to steal the pot, and the tournament is off to a good start. Level 5, nothing happens. Level 6, nothing happens. And now level 7, here we go. Have about 22,000 in my stack. I have ace-king offsuit in the cutoff, and there's a +1 player who opens to 1,500. He has about $10,000 behind. Action folds to me, and we're trying to go for that bounty. I cover this player, and I want to stack this player to get an extra $100 of real money. So I decided to 3-bet this strong hand to 5,000. Action folds around to her, trying to get her to jam. And she does. She goes all in, and obviously I'm in here to make the call. She has King Queen of Hearts, and I'm a heavy favorite to win. We're off to a run out.
Yeah, I'll give it to him. Thank you.
The run out as a heavy favorite is good for us. I win this one, stack an opponent, and early on in this tournament, I've already picked up 1 bounty chip. So this $420 buy-in has quickly became a $320 buy-in. While I'm racking up these newfound chips, we're on to the next hand now. I pick up pocket 6s in the hijack, and the +2 player in early position goes all in for 9.9 thousand. Given the stack depth here and given the blinds, I have an easy call with a pair, so I do just that. Trying to go for that bounty as well, as there's $100 for every single person that's going all in here. So I call, and then the player to my left, he goes all in, and Jesus Christ, it is not a small one. It is about 40,000. 40,000 in the stack. Action folds to me, and I'm thinking this over. It's a 50 big blind shove, and given the action, it seems really strong. I'm going to kiss my 10,000 chips goodbye, kiss my pocket 6s goodbye, and fold. Luckily I did, because the player on my left has pocket aces. What a great hand. And then the early position player has pocket jacks. So I was totally screwed regardless, unless I spike a 6 hypothetically, and the red out comes. There is no suck out for me with the 6, and aces is going to win and hold. My stack takes a pretty big hit. I had about 40,000 in chips. Now I'm down to about 30,000, and we're moving on to the next level. Blinds have increased already to the 1,000 big blind level, and I pick up Queen 7 of hearts in the big blind. There's a low jack raise to 3,500, and action folds to me. It's a pretty big raise considering the blind level, but here I am pot committed with a good playable hand. I'm in here and make the call. We're going to a flop, which which comes as good as it gets. King, queen, 6, 2 hearts. My goodness. Amazing flop for me with a pair and a flush draw, and I check it over to him. He bets out 3,500, and I have a decision point now. Look, I have a really good hand. Middle pair and hearts. Lots of equity, and could certainly just make the call here. That makes a lot of sense. But in these tournaments, I want to go for max variance. Trying to ride that variance roller coaster as it's early on in the tournament and I can always rebuy. I decided to check raise to 9,000, and he calls super fast. So maybe he just has a king? Who knows? Let's just hit her out. The dealer brings the 7 of clubs on the turn. Improved to 2 pair and a flush draw. This board is just getting better and better. Now I have about 19,000 in my stack, and I'm trying to get it all in. And I decided to go against just shoving my entire stack. I want to get called by some draws or some king X holdings. Who knows? If I'm up against the king, I think I just get it all in regardless. So I decided to bet small to 9,000. It's about half of my stack. And again, for 9,000, he calls, let's just get paid on the river. The river is now the 9 of hearts. This board is just getting better and better, almost like the dealer's trying to help me win this hand. Anyways, I have an easy all-in spot for 9.7 thousand. Not a whole lot compared to what's in the middle. And when I announce my all-in, this player decides to go deep into the tank. And while he's thinking about it for so long, I'm thinking that I potentially might have screwed up this hand by just not going all in on the turn like I normally would. Anyways, I get bailed out. He makes the call. My queen high flush is going to be way good. Taking it down for a huge pot and a huge double up. This player had more chips than me, so I actually didn't win the bounty, but I have 63,000 in my stack and things are going well. Skipping level 10 and now moving on to level 11. Blinds have increased again. A lot has happened, but nothing super significant until Ace Jack offsuit comes into my sight. There are 2 players who limp for 1,600. Then I decide to raise to 6,500 now, and there's an early position player who decides to call. My notes say he has a huge stack and he's super active, so we're going to see a flop which comes Jack 5-5. As clean as I can ask for with Ace Jack. He decides to check, and here there's a debate to sometimes check this one back. Got to have some stronger hands when I check back, and Ace Jack seems like a decent one on this board, but I'm going to go for value. I decided to bet out 5,000 and he folds. Unfortunately, not a ton of action here, but this is the hand that did get me over 60,000 again in my stack with about 75 players left in this tournament. Haven't really seen a real premium yet until this moment I pick up pocket queens. There's a +1 player who limps a lot. He decides to raise to 3,500. It seems like he's got a really strong hand because he's been limping in with a lot of his other holdings. And now let's go for some value. I decided to 3-bet and put in another raise to 10,000. Action folds around to the big blind, who decides that he hates his money and hates his tournament life. He goes all in. 4-bet all in for about 45,000. The early position player who raises folds, and I'm in there like swim. I snap call. He has pocket 7s, and let's freaking hold. About 80% chance to hold and win this one. Not only do I stack him for all of his chips, but I would also take down the $100 bounty. The flop looks good. Turn brings a sweat, and fade it on the river. Let's go, baby. Huge stack now, as I'm over 100,000 in chips and $100 richer. I bought in for $420. I've picked up 2 bounties so far, so essentially, I bought in for $220. At the very last hand of this level here, I pick up pocket 10s in early position. There's an ungun player who raises to 3,500. She has a massive stack, and I'm next to act here. Early position versus early position. I decided on just making the call. The low jack player calls as well, and then the small blind decides to ruin all the fun. He raises to 16,000. Pretty big raise from out of position, and the ungun player decides to fold. She thought about it for a while, ends up folding, and now I think I'm just in such an annoying spot. It's hard to imagine that the small blind player is ever going to raise with a weak hand here. He's either going to have an overpair at worst for us, or at best we're going to be flipping against a hand like ace king or ace queen. And ultimately, folding here just doesn't seem like a great option. Seems like a sin, although I certainly could have done it, but you don't watch this channel for me to talk about this hand and fold, right? I'm going to go all in because he has about 45,000 in stack. I say F it, I jam, And of course, he quickly makes the call. Oh, he has pocket kings, of course. And even worse, with over 100,000 in the middle, he flops a freaking set. But the dealer comes runner, Bank City for us with a straight. No way. Disgusting. Pocket tens were a 20% underdog to win this hand, and I find that 20% in this specific spot. I pick up another massive amount of chips, over 155,000 in my stack, and I stack this player, which means I'm another $100 richer. All right, we're on break with this guy. We're still here.
Yeah, we're still here.
About to fall asleep. It's 2 a.m. I think we have like 2 more hours of play. So we're gonna play till 4 all these tournaments. So
and then we get blessed with coming back tomorrow.
Yeah, it's fantastic. But yeah, hit that like button because we're staying up making these vlogs till 4 a.m. half asleep. This is supposed to be a vacation.
Huge prize pool. Huge.
Yeah, it's big. Anyways, that suck out was huge. We have 3 bounties. Things are going really well. 155K now in stack, so like 70 big blinds into the next level. Gonna try running up, maybe get some sleep after this. That's kind of what I'm thinking about.
Bank City, let's go.
Bang! Bang! Okay, there's 67 left. I've picked up 3 bounties already so far, and moving on, I get dealt another premium pocket queens in +1. Let's keep this heater going. There's an ungun player who limps. Okay, let's isolate. I raise it up to 6,500. The player in the button, short stack player, ends up making the call, so that seems a little interesting. The ungun player decides to call as well, so we're going 3 ways to a flop, which comes ace, king, deuce. Oh my god, what a horrible flop for pocket queens, right? Action checks to me, and I'm just going to check. Button player checks it, so let's see a free turn, which is the 7. Action checks around to the button again, because I just really don't want to put any more chips in the middle with that flop, and he decides to bet out 12,000. The ungun player who limped folds, and I think here in this spot, sure. I certainly could fold here, because my hand is just really not strong on this board, but I will say that this player seems solid, and certainly capable of bluffing into this pot here, especially seeing all the passive action so far on the flop and turn. Anyways, he certainly could have some bluffs, and this hand is kind of between a rock and a hard place, so I decided to just make the call and see a river, which comes no help. Doesn't change the board, and I check it over to him, praying he checks bag, but he decides to go all in. And at that point, I'll have to announce that I am all out. As painful as it is to fold queens on this board, just not a lot of fun. And moving on to the very next shuffle and deal, I pick up king 6 of clubs. We're under the gun, and this is definitely borderline between a raise or fold, and I decided to raise this one, because why not? If queens can't win, king 6 can. I raise to 4,600. I folds around to the button player who decides to 3-bet, but it's not a big one. 3-bets to 9,000, so basically the minimum he could ever raise. He's about 30,000 behind, and action folds to me. Look, I'm just not going to fold for this price. It's a complete min raise, and let's see if I can hit a king or clubs. Who knows? I make the call and see a flop of 7-6 deuce 2 diamonds. That is not a king nor clubs, but it is a pair. I check it over to him, and he decides to go all in for 30,000. Wow. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, because he actually really shouldn't have any strong hand on this board. And don't you think overpairs would want to get some value? I'm confused, and look, given the stack depths, I don't want to call here, but it seems like a necessary spot, and also incentivized to do so, because if I win, then I also get an extra $100. So let's go for that bounty, given the stack depths, gamble it. I stick in a call, and he shows ace queen. No way. Is king 6 suited going to crack ace queen? The run out comes, and I fade all of his outs and pick up bounty number 4 for this tournament. Oh my god. Running hot, playing bad hands, and winning. Chip stack is ballooned up to over 200,000. I am 3 times an average stack, and there are 51 players left in this tournament. The following hand here, kind of have to talk about the dynamics at this table here. We're in the level 14, and the big blind in this specific hand is super short stacked with about 3 big blinds. So as the massive chip lead at the table, obviously I'm going for that bounty, and when I pick up 10-3 of spades, definitely a good one to go for. I'm going to raise any 2. So I raise it up to 6,500, action folds around to the big blind, and She actually ends up deciding to call. Like I said, she had 3 big blinds. So if I raised 2 and she calls, she has 1 big blind left with about 3,000 in her stack. Okay, we're going to be all in regardless here. And let's see a good flop, which comes 2 spades. Yeah, that's definitely good enough for me. And she decides to check. I bet 1 big blind to put her all in. And after some deliberation, she ends up making the call for tournament life and that $100 bounty in play. I show sheepishly the 10-3 suited and I'm up against ace-10 offsuit. So got to hit a 3 or spade to win. Turn is no help, but the river, bink. There it is. Bounty number 5 getting shipped my way. It's nice to win a handful of chips, but even more important, like I said, another $100 coming my way. That's the 5th person I've knocked out and $500 I've collected so far just in bounties.
Professional.
We got the troublemaker.
Wait.
No way you're wearing it.
Troublemaker.
Kidding. All right, progressing onto this next hand here. It's the last level of this day. It's getting pretty late into the night. I pick up Jack 10 of spades in early position and raise it up to 9,000. Action folds around to the hijack player who decides to go all in, but it's not a huge amount. It's just under 40,000 in chips, so 10 big blinds here. And look, action folds to me, and I've been running super hot so far. What makes you think I won't run hot again? Like I said, also incentivized to call with the bounty in play. Let's run it. And I make the call, and let's go to a run out.
Oh shit. Right. Oh, that's Rampage, though.
Bink River, yep, who would have thought? Just the runner straight. Just my night so far here in this bounty tournament and picking up bounty number 6. I've already been profitable here in this tournament without having to make the money. That's the beauty of these bounty tournaments when you run hot. I bust out another player, and this is a great way to end day 1 here. There are 33 players left in the tournament. I've already collected 6 bounties in a $400 buy-in. It's a good way to end the night. It's 4 a.m. 31 players left. Me and Wolfgang still in, which is really nice. I'm gonna go to bed. It's time to go to sleep. It's 4 a.m. Restart tomorrow. We'll see how the video goes. Maybe it might be the end. Maybe tomorrow will be a lot of fun. Who knows? Wish us luck. And I'm going to bed. Whew, that was quite the ride. Just bink after bink on the river is just pretty sick. Pretty disgusting to crack kings with 10s and crack ace 10 with 10-3 and that Jack 10 hand, just suck out after suck out. That's just the luck box life. Anyways, I had to end this. Part 2 will come on Thursday because some good things happen, some bad things happen, and I'm going to bring you guys along for the ride. I don't want to make 30-minute long videos. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed. Thank you so much for sticking to the end. I'll see you guys Thursday. You don't want to miss it. Tune in. I upload every single video Tuesday and Thursday at noon Eastern time. I'll see you in the next one. See you Thursday. Peace.